Today's video is extra special because we're diving headfirst into one of the most iconic sci-fi franchises out there, Predator. That's right. The new film Predator, Killer of Killers, is finally here, and it's not just another entry. It's a brutal, visually rich, lore-deepening chapter in the saga. So buckle up, because we're about to explore every corner of this intense new story in full. The film begins with a message in the Predator's native language. Soar the stars in search of the most powerful prey. They will be your trophies. Become a killer of killers. Now, the first chapter opens with a direct visual reference to the original 1987 Predator film. An alien ship approaches Earth in the exact same cinematic style. But this time, it's not the 20th century, it's the year 841 AD. Our protagonist in this arc is Ursa, a Viking queen and an unmatched warrior known far and wide as the Valkyrie of the North Sea. Alongside her son Anders and her loyal warriors, she sets out on a bloody campaign of vengeance. Their target, the Kribic, an East Slavic tribe that destroyed much of her village years ago, forcing her to kill her own father to survive. Her ultimate target? The Kribic leader, Soren. The Viking warband reaches the coast, launching into a vicious assault. This portion of the film is titled The Shield, which fits perfectly, not just because of the Vikings' iconic use of shields for defense, but also for the creative ways Ursa uses them in combat. The Vikings decimate the Kribic, leaving only one survivor. But when that man reveals Soren's location during interrogation, Ursa still slices him clean in half. It's a shockingly brutal moment that makes it clear this movie is absolutely not for kids. The group heads into the forest to track down Soren's base, camping overnight to rest. Unbeknownst to them, they are being watched. High above in the trees, hidden by advanced cloaking tech, lurks a predator. But here's a clever touch. The ashes from their campfire interfere slightly with the predator's camouflage, much like the mud in Prey 2022. This isn't a coincidence. It's the same director behind both films, and Predator, Killer of Killers, is filled with clever callbacks. The Predator watches the Vikings with fascination. The next morning, Ursa arrives alone at Soren's fort, pretending to seek parley. But she soon unleashes hell. Using her shield like a bladed boomerang, she decapitates guards and paves the way for her warriors to rush in. A stunning battle follows, ending with Soren captured and mocked by Ursa. In his final moments, Soren tries to taunt Ursa by bringing up her painful past. But Anders, sick of the cruelty, finishes him off himself. Their revenge is complete. But out of nowhere, the Predator strikes. He releases a shockwave from his high-tech gauntlet that knocks Anders far from the others. This Predator is massive, perhaps the biggest in the franchise yet. With no armor aside from a loincloth, biomask, and a cybernetic arm, he steps into hand-to-hand combat. The Predator slaughters the Vikings with ease, though not without taking damage. The film reminds us, if it bleeds, it can be killed. Soon, only Ursa and Anders remain. But the fort collapses in the chaos, sending Ursa plunging into the freezing waters below, a graveyard of sunken Viking ships. Barely able to breathe through an icy crevice, Ursa stays hidden as the Predator stalks the area. But with his heat vision and Ursa's damaged biomask, her location becomes vulnerable. The Predator removes his mask, intensifying the hunt. Knowing she's outmatched in strength, Ursa switches to strategy. She uses an anchor's heavy chain, climbing atop a ship and attempting a crushing attack. The Predator dodges it, but the anchor's weight cracks the ice. Ursa seizes the moment. She goads the Predator closer, then smashes the ice, plunging them both into the freezing water. As the Predator sinks, the anchor chain tangles around his weapon. Ursa uses the chains to try and strangle him, but he breaks free. He prepares to kill her with his sonic weapon, but at the last second, Ursa blocks it with her shield. The blast launches her to the surface. The Predator, however, crashes into the water and is pinned by the heavy anchor. It's over. Ursa's revenge is complete. Soren is dead. The Predator is defeated. But the price is unbearable. Her entire warband is gone, and most tragically, so is Anders, who dies in her arms. She may have won the battle, but she lost everything else. The second tale in this anthology shifts to Japan in the early 1600s. Two young brothers, both skilled in swordsmanship, train under their father. But only one can become his successor, and tradition demands they duel to the death. One brother is reluctant. He loves his sibling and doesn't want to kill him. But the other, desperate to earn their father's approval, strikes without mercy, cutting his brother's face. Ashamed and wounded, the betrayed brother escapes into the wilderness. 20 years pass. The ruthless brother inherits their father's estate. But the one who fled has been training in secret, preparing for revenge. One stormy night, he infiltrates the compound. Stealthy and lethal, he moves in on his target, but one guard alerts the others. The brothers soon come face to face. Their duel is stunning, two highly skilled swordsmen clashing in a deadly ballet. Eventually, the scarred brother wins, leaving a matching wound on his brother's face. But in a tragic twist, his brother falls over the ledge. It was never meant to be a fatal duel. As the warrior takes in his bittersweet victory, a new predator arrives, one fully armored, unlike the previous beast. This one had been watching from the shadows, intrigued by the warrior's discipline, patience, and honor. The predator stalks him through the compound, and the warrior quickly realizes he's being hunted. Using smoke bombs, he tries to evade, but the predator effortlessly slaughters the remaining guards with a deadly mix of traditional and high-tech weapons. This predator's design is terrifying. His biomask reveals only 2 mandibles instead of the classic 4, giving him a sleeker, more serpentine appearance. The final battle takes place on the rooftops of the samurai palace. Our warrior gets caught dangling upside down but manages to stab the predator's foot with a kunai. He uses another smoke bomb to expose the predator, damaging one of its arms. The fight spills into a nearby river, where, to his shock, his brother has survived the fall. For a brief moment, the brothers reunite. But the predator charges in, and this time, they fight side by side. It's an epic final stand. They damage the predator, remove its mask, and strike blow after blow. But the hunter is relentless. Eventually, the brother who betrayed him sacrifices himself, protecting the hero from a killing strike. His body is impaled by those iconic retractable wrist blades. What follows is one of the most intense and emotional moments of the film. The two brothers again team up and throw everything they've got at the creature, and here's where things get interesting. This particular predator doesn't have the usual 4 mandibles, it only has 2. That's a rare and eerie design, even for Yaoja. Despite their efforts, the predator soon has them on the ropes. But then, in a desperate move, our main protagonist straps one of the predator's own explosives onto a hook-like weapon he'd been carrying. The resulting explosion hits the predator hard, badly injuring it and forcing it to activate its cloaking to escape. But it doesn't get far. A single falling leaf reveals its location, and the brothers launch a final, brutal attack, slicing the predator into pieces. Victory, but it's bittersweet. The brother, mortally wounded, dies in our hero's arms. At least, in that final moment, it feels like they reconciled. And with that emotional ending, we move into the third story, which is set in Florida, 1941. Here, we meet our third protagonist, John Torres. He's with his father, working on a car engine. From the looks of it, his family seems to have a mysterious gift, a natural understanding of machines. Whether it's cars, planes, or anything mechanical, they just get how things work without needing formal training. This gift might seem small now, but trust me, it's going to matter a lot later on. Now, John dreams of being a pilot. Sensing that his son needs to forge his own path, his father hands him a military recruitment form. It's clear, from this moment on, Torres is on his own. Fast forward to 1942, we're now right in the middle of World War II. And that's where we get the official title of the story, The Bullet. We're high above the North Atlantic Ocean, where Torres is repairing a damaged aircraft mid-combat. Inside the cockpit, we catch a glimpse of a photo of his dad. The film doesn't say whether his father is dead or just far away, But either way, it's a touching nod to where Torres started. The aircraft is in rough shape, and Torres' superior, Sergeant Vandy, won't let him take off just yet. That's when something strange happens. An unidentified aircraft attacks them. Nobody knows what it is or where it came from. Vandy and his squadron scramble to provide air support, ordering Torres to finish repairs fast. While working, Torres finds a bizarre piece of metal from one of the downed planes. It's like nothing he's ever seen, super hard, but incredibly light. He tries to drill it, saw it, nothing works. But then, when he applies heat using a blowtorch, the device reacts. It starts to assemble itself. Suddenly, it flies at one of his crew, Delgado, and spears the plane's engine, nearly killing him. A moment later, the device activates again and zooms off into the sky, carrying the engine with it. Things just got real. Meanwhile, in the air, Bandy's team is locked in combat, unaware that their true enemy is a new kind of predator, one without a biomask, dreadlocks, or even the usual armor. This predator uses alien devices that it fires from a cannon, devices that can pass straight through engines and drag out pilots' bodies. It's horrifying. Back on the ground, Torres and Delgado have no choice but to finish repairs and get the plane airborne. And here we see Torres' mechanical intuition shine. He manages to coax the damaged aircraft into flight, barely. But up in the skies, the predator's destruction continues. Soon, only Torres and Bandy are left. They figure out that the predator's weapons are drawn to heat sources. So, using the radio, they coordinate a daring plan, climb as high as possible to cool their planes, and at the right moment, kill the engines to become invisible to the predator's targeting system. It almost works, but Torres' plane is too slow. Realizing this, Bandy sacrifices himself. He keeps his engine on to draw fire and gets shredded by a terrifying energy net. It's a brutal moment, but Bandy's sacrifice works. The predator locks onto him and exposes itself in the process. And that gives Torres the opening he needs. As the predator's ship descends, Torres fires every single weapon at its thrusters. He hits the mark, but also gives away his position. Now the predator is on his tail, furious and closing in fast. Torres is forced to restart his engine to stay airborne, and the predator doesn't care if it wrecks its own ship to get him. So, Torres flies right back into the battlefield. The crossfire batters the predator's ship and causes it to crash into the sea. Victory? Not quite. Even after crashing, the predator isn't done. It rises from the wreckage, still determined to kill Torres. Then, Torres remembers something from earlier. His father once accidentally flooded an engine. That sparks an idea. He provokes the predator into firing at him again, triggering the same alien device. But this time, Torres is ready. He ejects with a parachute just as the predator's own weapon causes his plane's burning engine to explode right into the predator's face. The resulting explosion is massive. The predator is obliterated, and the ship is totaled. Since Torres was already near the water, he survived the blast and lit a distress flare to signal his allies. That ends the third story. And for many viewers, it could have ended the whole film right there. But nope, things take an even more intense turn. Just when Torres thinks he's safe, a predator ship swoops in and abducts him. It's revealed that those who defeat a predator are watched and sometimes captured by others from their species. They consider such warriors worthy prey. Not just Torres, but all three protagonists from the earlier stories have been cryogenically frozen aboard this vessel. Then they're marched into what appears to be a Yautja Coliseum, maybe even on the predator homeworld itself. A hulking predator covered in bones appears and speaks through a strange translator embedded in its collar. He challenges the prisoners to a fight to the death, promising that the winner will face him. Each is handed a weapon from their own era, a Viking axe for Ursa, a katana for the Japanese warrior, and a black powder pistol, the legendary Raphael Adolini pistol, seen in Predator 2 and Prey. That last one feels out of place, as it's not from Torres' time, but hey, cool Easter egg. Ursa accepts the challenge without hesitation. It's in her Viking blood. Torres and the Japanese warrior refuse. In response, The predator leader unleashes a giant beast, which immediately devours Torres whole. But before that, it had swallowed the rebel predator, too, along with the control bracelet for the explosive collars. While Ursa and the Japanese warrior kill the beast, the predator guards haul its body away, with Torres still inside. Moments later, Torres bursts out, riding a vehicle and using the control bracelet to deactivate everyone's collars. Now free, the trio teams up to escape by hijacking the predator leader's ship. But the leader confronts them head-on. He quickly incapacitates Torres and seriously injures the others, showing he's on another level. Just when he's about to finish off the Japanese warrior, Torres returns. He uses the ship's thrusters to launch the predator backward. His gift for machines saves the day yet again. The fight continues, but not without consequences. At one point, the Japanese warrior loses an arm. Ursa hauls him onto the ship as the others try to escape. But the predators aren't done. They throw an indestructible barrier to block their ship from taking off. That's when Ursa sacrifices herself. She tells the others not to avenge her, a sign she's grown. Using her shield, she ziplines down a cable and destroys the mechanism just in time. The others escape. Ursa, captured alive, is later cryogenically preserved by the Yautja. In a massive chamber, we see that she's not alone. Thousands of others are frozen too, warriors who once defeated predators and earned their respect. Among them, Nera, the heroine from Prey. That's how the predators got her pistol. And that's where this insane ride ends. An epic reveal for a wild, action-packed story that seriously expands the Predator universe. If you had fun with this recap, make sure to smash that like button. It really helps us out. Got a film or series you'd like to see covered? Drop it in the comments. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell icon so you never miss a recap. Until next time, take care and stay super.